Hi everyone, we're back with more linear equations. This time we're going to talk about some of the different, one of the different forms that you can have besides the general form. And we're going to talk about slope-intercept form today. So let's look at a general equation. This looks like ax plus by equals c. And notice that a lot of things from now on are going to be solved in terms of y. So let's actually do this. This was actually, I think, one of the problems we did on the first day of class. So this should be pretty familiar. We're going to subtract ax from both sides. So these two cancel, and I get a by equals c minus ax. In dividing both sides by b, I get y equals c over b minus a over bx. Well, this negative a over bx turns out to be equal to the slope of the line. And this value, c over b, this is the y-coordinate of the y-intercept. So typically we don't write the equation like this. We turn this into m, and we call this value b, not to be confused with this one. These b's are not equal. And so we get what is known as slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope of the line and b is the y-coordinate of the y-intercept. Now, in this video, we're going to concentrate on the algebra. In the next video, we're going to concentrate on using the slope-intercept form to graph a line. So, let's start off with an example here. So, it's always good after seeing something abstract to see it in concrete numbers. So, we have 2x plus 5y equals 13. So, the solution is that we just need to solve this equation for y. So we have 2x plus 5y equals 13. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides of the equation. These two cancel off and leave me behind the 5y, and we just get the 13 minus 2x. And then we're going to divide both sides by 5. And we'll get y equals, and since we have a subtraction in the numerator, we can split up the fraction as 13 over 5 minus 2/5 x. So the slope in this case is negative 2/5, and the y-intercept is 0.13. So make sure when you write the y-intercept, you write it as a point. As I mentioned in a previous video, if you just say b equals 13 over 5, I will mark this wrong. Alright, so let's move on to our next example. So suppose the line has slope 2/3 and a y-intercept of 0.12. Find an equation of the line. So this is basically, if you have certain information, you can figure out the slope of, or you can figure out what the line is. So from this comment here, slope is 2/3. We know that m is equal to 3/2. From knowing that the y-intercept is 0.12, we know that b is 12. And so, since we know the slope and the intercept, the natural form of the line we should use is the slope-intercept form. And we just write y equals 3/2 x plus 12. Alright? And that's all we're going to talk about the algebra. So these are kind of your two main types of problems. We'll see a third type on the group work, which is just a variation of the one I just did. Not that much harder, but I want to save something for the group work. So I will see you